The Japanese had 22,000 all underground. They had 17 miles of tunnels there. We couldn't see them, but they were underground. I think what I will do is give you my little history of when I went into the service. I attended Montezuma High School, and I'm sure some of you know where Montezuma is. I had turned 18 years of age, and my senior year was started. I got a draft notice. I went to Indianapolis. I didn't think they would take it because I was still in school. That wasn't right. They said, we need you right now. And I said, well, I want to go to the Coast Guard. They said, no, you're going to the Marines. And so that's how I ended up in the Marines. It was their choice, not mine. 32 months later, I got to see home again. They sent me to San Diego, California to boot camp, and they had cut the boot camp time from 13 weeks to 7 weeks because they were trying to get the 5th Division put together as fast as they could. When I came out of boot camp, they said, you have made top honors here, and you get your choice where you want to go. And I said, well, I'd like to go to the paratroopers. And why I said that, I don't know, because that would have been the last place I wanted to go. So anyhow, they said, well, the paratroopers are business band. What's your second choice? I said, well, how about a cook? I did not want to carry 85 pounds on my back. And they said, oh, we have all the cooks we need. And they lied. They didn't have all the cooks. They had all the people filling the shoes of cooks. But they weren't really good cooks, most of them. So anyhow, I said, what's your next choice? I said, how about tanks? They said, you're in luck. We've got openings there for tanks. So they sent me from there to Jack's Farm, which was a tank school. It's about 7 or 8 miles southeast of San Diego, right along the Mexican border. And the biggest problem we had there was rattlesnakes. I've never seen so many rattlesnakes in my life. In fact, that's the first rattlesnakes I'd ever seen. I was a farm boy, but I have not seen rattlesnakes. I went through tank school there, and they said, you're going to be a tank commander. And I said, I don't want to be a tank commander. I want to be a driver. So they in turn then said, well, you qualify for anything you want to be. And I said, well, I want to be a driver. So I ended up a tank driver. They sent me from there to Camp, I want to say Pendleton. I believe that is right, at Oceanside. And we formed into the 5th Division, and yes, I was a driver. We trained there some. I had a good friend in my tent, Hugh O'Brien. Have any of you ever heard of Hugh O'Brien? Good. Hugh O'Brien was really a nice-looking guy. At age 17, he was a drill instructor at boot camp. And he slept right beside me in the tent, and where he slept there, my tank commander was a lieutenant, so they don't sleep with the common men. So anyhow, he used to say, Willie, go out on liberty with me. And I'd say, I don't have any money for liberty. I knew he went to Hollywood each week. I really did not have that kind of money that I thought it would take to go to Hollywood. But I found out later he was sleeping on pool tables. So it didn't cost him anything. Anyhow, I was corporal of the guard down at the main gate after Route 1. And anyway, he came down and he said, I'm going out on liberty tonight. I said, you don't have liberty. I said, I'm going out. And so it wasn't long until a white Buick convertible in 1942, two-seated. I'd never seen a car that nice in my life. We didn't have it out on the farm. And so anyhow, two of the most gorgeous blondes I'd ever seen. And they said, we've come to pick up from Crampy. Crampy was his real name. And I said, he doesn't have liberty tonight, he can't go out. I visited with them there for a few minutes, and they said, well, we just will leave without him. They took off and went down over the hill to Route 1. He looked over the back of the seat and waved at me, and I said, they do not know how he got in there with the car. Anyhow, the next morning when I woke up, he was in the sack there, so I had to wake him up. He said, Willie, did you see those girls? I said, I couldn't miss those girls. He said, well, one of them was his date and one was mine. Now I said, well, I'll tell you one thing. The next time you go out on Liberty, I will be with you. So you know what happened from there? 2 days later, word came down, start packing up, we're moving out. And we moved out to Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii, where Hilo is, Camp Raleigh. The 2nd Marine Division had set it up after they came off of Toronto. So we set up there to finish our training. Then one day, word came down, get the tanks waterized. We had to get them so they wouldn't leak any water. So we're going to move out. We're going into combat. We moved out on an LST. And after we got out to sea, we just knew we were going to hit Okinawa. We were not going to hit Okinawa, we found out. 10 days after we were out at sea, they called all together and said, you're going to hit a little island called Iwo Jima. Not one of us have ever heard of it. I'd like to point out one thing. Iwo Jima was annexed to the Japanese in 1892. Now there's two different dates they have show us, 91 and 92. But I'll say 92 to feel safe. So we were told we were going to hit that. We were told there are 2,000 Japanese detainees. They're too old and sick or young to fight. So it won't take just a couple of days and we'll move out of there. I hope it's what our intelligence had done there. They took supplies and everything for 2 days. Well, after the 2nd day, we were out of anything to eat or water. On Iwo Jima, there is no water, none whatsoever. And you think the Japanese, I didn't think of them like that, underground, hotter than 20 degrees underground where they were with no water. If any of you have questions when I'm going along, don't hesitate to raise your hands. I'll be more than glad to try to answer any question you have. Well, we hit Iwo Jima February the 19th, 1945. 1945. Our tank, we would go in on the 10th wave with our tank. The first wave went in, of course, in 0900. Then every 10 minutes, another wave would go in. Word came out after the 3rd wave had gone in, get the tanks in here, they're needed. Went in and unloaded, and that's where my first big surprise came. The beach on Iwo Jima is not sand. It is volcanic ash. And when you hit it, you sink down. And I did bury the tank there. I hate to admit it, but I did. They then laid screens down for us to get off the bank up onto the main part of the island. And the 28th Marines who had the responsibility of taking Mount Surabaya. And they had taken a beating. They lost 40% of their outfit the first day. We went in, and as I say, we were out of gasoline in the tank, or pretty close to. See, the tank only gets 1 mile to the gallon. And to run the turret and everything, you have to run the motor too. So anyway, we were there, sitting there, and we pulled down to the first beach, which has been Green Beach 1, and carried the gasoline in 5-gallon cans up to the inlet. Now, while I was there, and this is something we laughed about days later, we heard a Navy man walking down the beach while the passengers on that island with American-made cars. And he was walking down the beach saying, "Don't shoot, I'm a Jew." And when he got to the Green Beach, they decided to shell us with mortars. And the first mortar went over the top of our tank and hit on the beach right where he was at. And it went off, and then the next we heard that he was running back the other way saying, "Please don't shoot, I'm a Cadillac." So he changed his car from one to another, and we all laughed that he had that shot out from under him, and he was back the other way. Well, my lieutenant had been in combat before. He said when the next mortar drops will be on the other side of the tank, then the next one will drop right where our tank is. Then button up the tank and get in, let's move out. And we did. We got hit 5 times the first night with mortars. And I won't tell you, I wasn't scared because I was. We pulled into the Mount Sarbacan where the flags were raised. And when we pulled into there, some of the Japanese with machine guns got out my periscope. Now I had a spare periscope, so I put it in. It lasted 2 minutes and they shot it out too. I looked over to my assistant driver and I said, "First, give me your periscope," and he did. And they did not shoot it out, which was glad for. Well, we spent 3 days there, and finally, they said, "We're going to send a group of men, 40 men from each company, up to the top of the mountain." Now, we did not know they had moved out their men, but they had moved them all out to the northern end of the island. And that's all underground. You wouldn't know if they were moving. Anyhow, the group went to the top of the mountain, and one of them had a small flag, and they went ahead and raised it. Now that is not the picture you see. The picture you see is of the second flag. Anyhow, they sent out to a ship to get a larger flag. Now we really thought it was all over. You raised the flag, it's yours. It didn't turn out that way. They came in with a big flag and raised it, and Joe Rosenthal, who snapped the picture, was sitting on a rock, taking pictures down at the infield. And when they raised it, someone said, "There goes the flag." He swung around on a rock, hit the shutters on his camera, never even aimed it, and that's the picture he got. And that is the most famous picture taken in World War II. Now, any of you disagree with me or got questions, don't hesitate to bring them up. Yeah.
What kind of tank were you driving?
Pardon?
What kind of tank?
Sherman.
How long did it take you to take the island?
36 days to take that island. It's supposed to have been 2 days, and it's 36 days. Well, they released me. The tank that I was driving said, "Go up to the first airstrip and set up a bivouac area for the tanks to come in on." We went up the first airstrip, and when I got out, a corpsman on the other side of the airstrip said, "Send someone over to help me." And I said, my lieutenant said, "Willie, you go over and help him." So I did. We loaded 2 dead Marines in the truck for burial. He came from third and he said, "I want to show this one to you. This is Sergeant Vassalone. Have any of you ever heard of Sergeant Vassalone?" Good. Sergeant Vassalone was the first enlisted Marine to win the Medal of Honor in World War II. And that was at Guadalcanal. We were building a new airstrip there, and he was put on guard duty that night as a machine gunner. He was hurt, and all his buddies had been killed. And he stayed up all night, taking the enemy down. The next morning, they counted the dead enemy out there, and there were 231, and he was given credit for killing 231 Japanese. They gave him the Medal of Honor, certainly he deserved it. Sent him to the hospital, got him well, and sent him to Washington, D.C. to raise money for the war effort. He was out there 3 weeks and demanded that he go back to where he was fighting before he wanted to be with him. They sent him to the 27th Marines, which was part of the 5th Marine Division. And when we hit the island, he told his crew they were machine gunners off the beach here where it's safe. And they went out to the first airstrip, started set up, and the enemy hit them with mortars. They were deadly with mortars, and they must have had a trade with them. So anyhow, they hit them and killed all of them. He did not have to give up that life, but he did. If he takes care of his foundation, I have met her. She's a nice person, really a nice person. But she wanted me to show him where he was killed, so I showed her. Every day was different there. Every day we were on the front lines. They couldn't do anything without a tank up there, and I don't know why. Because I thought we made it more dangerous than what it should have been. Yes.
You were there 36 days. Was you able to have food? You said you only took enough supplies for 2 days.
I'm getting into that right now, thank you. We came back from the front lines on the 5th day. Hadn't eaten for 3 days, and when I got out of the tank, one of the Marines hollered, "Willie, get over there and get you something to eat." I walked over, and they had a huge stack of 10-in-1 rations. I did not know what a 10-in-1 ration was then, as I do now. An Army second lieutenant was holding up a jeep with the rations. And I said, "Sir, may I have a case of rations?" He said, "No, you can't have one." And I looked at him and I said, "I can't have one?" "No, you can't have one." I said, "You're going to tell me why I can't have one?" He said, "These are for the fighting men." He said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm in tanks." And I said, "You see that tank right there?" He said, "Of course I see that tank." I said, "If I don't get something to eat, it's going to run over you and that Jeep